Straight to the press review now with Elitsa. International papers continuing, of course, their coverage on the new war in the Middle East.
That's right, Stuart. And let's start by taking a look at the front page of right-wing paper Le Figaro here in France. And the headline here reads, "Struck at its heart, Iran is choosing a strategy of chaos." So the paper says that the Iranian regime is faced with an existential threat. So it's choosing to set the Middle East on fire, trying to save itself. Devastating reads here the front page of British left-wing paper The Morning Star, and the paper reminds that Iran has long threatened to drag the region into a total war if it is attacked. And I actually want to draw your attention to this feature article here by the New York Times. The title reads, "As Maduro and Khamenei learned, it's harder than ever for leaders to hide." So the article talks about the surge in sensors, cameras, and artificial intelligence in the United States that really help the American intelligence services. Today, it's way easier, for example, to track in real time foreign leaders. So as we see with Maduro and Khamenei's examples, Trump used exactly that. And the paper says that this opens new horizons for presidents like Trump, who wish to change the attitude of foreign regimes or even change their leaders. Stuart.
Well, papers are also discussing the impact of the new war on Russia's war in Ukraine.
Yeah, indeed. So Politico here has this paper that's called "Trump's Iran Gamble Risks Leaving Ukraine as a Forgotten War." And the paper says that Europeans are struggling to deal with Trump's inflammatory interventions. But the only thing worse than that is losing his attention. And Politico says that European leaders now fear that Trump's attention will be turned towards the new war in the Middle East. And that means that he will have less time to try and resolve the war in Ukraine. And what that means in practice is that the US may drag itself into a long war in the Middle East, and Ukraine may lose access to American-made weapons as well. And it's an analysis that's echoed also in Ukrainian paper, The Kyiv Independent. And the paper discusses how Zelensky backing Trump will impact Ukraine. It says that this strategy and the choice is normal since Iran is a Russia ally and Zelensky wants to show Trump that he's a reliable partner. However, it's unclear whether the strategy will work because Trump's hostility towards Iran or Venezuela hasn't affected his relationship with Russia.
What about the Russian papers then? What are they saying, Elitsa?
Well, there's a very interesting article here by Russian independent paper Meduza that actually did the analysis for us. It looked at Russian state media and the discourse they are using to write about the new war in the Middle East. So Russian state TV channels are saying that diplomacy is ruined and what is happening is reminiscent of the wars in Iraq and Libya. They paint America as a predator and as someone who's been planning the war in Iran for a very long time, and therefore Russia needs to draw conclusions. And that's also the tone of this illustration here that's called Panic in the Kremlin. And we see Russian President Vladimir Putin and Sergei Lavrov watching the breaking news about the US strikes in Iran. And Putin says, "Lavrov, could it be that will be next?" Stuart.
And this is going to end on something lighter. We need it, don't we? This is a conspiracy theory surrounding Jim Carrey's appearance at the César Awards, or the César Awards, the French Film Awards. It's gone viral, hasn't it?
That's right. Well, that's how he appeared at the awards. And many people were quite shocked. They were like, well, he doesn't look as himself being this image that we have of the American actor. They were like, did he get a Botox or a full facelift? So the discussions turned into a full-blown conspiracy theory that Jim Carrey was replaced by a clone. And Vogue here writes that the conspiracy theory went completely viral, well, with some people actually believing that it is true. And it gained even more attention when this drag artist Alexis Stone posted this picture on Instagram, claiming that he is the one behind the clone and that he created this mask. If you ask me, it looks like an AI-generated image.
I think you're probably right.
Well, many people fell for it. Like even my ex account was like flooded with this particular image, and the conspiracy went super far that even the general delegate of the César Awards ceremony had to make an official statement to Variety magazine, and he says that this is completely false. It's a non-issue, and he spoke about Jim Carrey's dedication to learn his speech in French, Stuart.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well done to him. I thought Jim Carrey was still in his 30s. That's what I'm more shocked about. But anyway, that's what getting older is all about.